What up, everybody? Richard Bird here. And on today's episode of Ask the Birdman, I just wanted to have a conversation with you about how to manage in turbulent times. Now, first of all, just understand that it is a turbulent time. It is a time that most people have not had to go through, especially those who are younger, I will say. But there are some of us that have. Even though we've gone through some stuff like this, we've gone through a recession, we've gone through even 9/11, some of those really difficult times. This is really something that is unprecedented. But there are some things that you could be doing right now to make your life and your business better. Transparency moment here. I promise you that this particular thing caught me, I'm going to say by surprise. Like I was prepared to be able to deal with these situations. This is what I'm trained to do. But the magnitude of this particular incident, this time that we live in, the uncertainty of the time that we live in, pretty much caught me by surprise. And so I found myself, even with all of this background knowledge, if you will, again, going through recession, a couple of recessions to tell the truth, and going through 9/11. I lived in Connecticut at the time of 9/11 and the uncertainty of that whole situation. I found myself in a fearful place. And so I had to kind of go back to my training, if you will. I had to go back and figure out, okay, now, Richard, what have you done previously that has gotten you through turbulent times? And so I wanted to just do this quick live with you and talk about what you should do. Number one, is take care of yourself. This one is probably the hardest for someone who calls themselves a fixer. It's hard for someone whose job it is to take care of everyone else. You may be the sole provider, or you may be the main provider. You may be that person that everyone calls when they're having issues. And so that you're finding people looking at you, wondering, okay, so what's next? How do we do that? And in those situations, the hardest thing for you to do, to even concentrate on, is yourself. But the first thing you need to do in a turbulent time is make sure you are okay. Oftentimes we hear the story about when you're in an airplane, and the first thing they tell you in an airplane is, if the oxygen mask falls down, put yours on first before you help the person next to you. And that is because that if you're incapacitated, you can't help anyone else. So take care of yourself. And what does that mean? In this day and time, not only do we suffer from a pandemic, we suffer from an infodemic, meaning that there's so much information that's being given to you that it's hard for you to figure out. And when you have that much noise, your brain will often shut down. So the thing to do is get some time to yourself, get away. Now, in business, how do we do that and not lose business? So the first thing that I do is I start scheduling my posts. I start scheduling what I want to have, the conversations I want to have with people that keep my engagement numbers going. So I schedule things. I really dig down deep and say, Here are the things I want to say, how I'm going to say them, where they're going to be. I take a look through all of my social networks and I decide what kind of messaging. I'm going to talk about some of that later on as well. What kind of messaging is going to work in each one of those spaces. And so I take care of myself, one, by getting away from the noise. I have a poster in my office that's called Mute the Noise. And what that really is about is getting to a place where you can shut down those things that are distracting you. Mute the noise, mute the noise, mute the noise, get rid of those things that are distracting you. Get rid of those things that are taking you out. Learn to only listen to things that are positive, that are pushing you in the right direction. And so I schedule. I do a lot of scheduling. Number two, I do a lot of batching, meaning I go into the studio, I go into my office place, wherever I'm going to work, and I try to record as much as possible in the beginning. Because if on Monday I can get rid of most of the miscellaneous stuff, if I can get rid of that stuff during the first part of my week, it gives me more time to spend with myself, figuring out who I am. The third thing I do is I get a strict schedule, a super strict schedule on how I'm going to handle my email, how I'm going to handle my email, how I'm going to handle myself, because I can't be plugged in all day long. I can't be plugged in all day long. I'll go crazy. So I take care of myself by creating margin in my life. And I do that scheduling and automating as much as possible, muting the noise, and then batch recording, getting my stuff out of the way so that I can create huge pieces of margin in my life. The second thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to shift your messaging and your strategy. Now, if you're the kind of person that is a pre-planner, you have your weeks lined up, you have a product launch coming up, you have you've had your content in place that's scheduled, that you're going to make sure that everyone gets when they're supposed to. This is the time for you to go in right now, get inside of that strategy, and start maneuvering some things out of the way. Now, I'm not telling you to stop your goal. I'm not telling you that your goal, your revenue streams, any of that stuff, I'm not telling you to get rid of any of those things, but I'm saying that the mechanics of how you get there may have to change. That's going to require you to get a mindset that says, I can still get to the other side. I just may have to change my direction. Now, for people who are linear thinkers, this is one of probably the hardest things for you, because you're used to going A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And in a turbulent time, you may have to skip some steps. You may have to do some zigs and some zags. But you can't, you have to shift your message, and you have to shift the strategy of how you're going to accomplish what you're going to accomplish without losing the goal. It also means that you may have to move the goalpost. I wanted to have $5 million by April 1st. Well, baby, that's not going to happen. You might be lucky if you make 5,000. And that's going to require you now to move some things around. But don't ever lose track of the goal of where you're going, the goal of what you're going to do, the goal stay. All we're going to do is shift the messaging and the strategy. So when I say shift messaging, what am I talking about? You have to be cognizant of the time that we live in. And so messaging is on multiple levels. It's not only what you say and how you say it, but where you say it, and what do you use to say it. I'm going to talk about that in a second. So when I talk about your messaging, so let's, a lot of my clients are churches and pastors, and I love working in the urban church marketing field. And then I have a lot of my clients are CEOs. So let me talk kind of church, because that's a really good example. As a pastor, I'm used to my message being for the people who are directly related to my ministry. Now that there's a shift and I've moved from a brick and mortar ministry into an online ministry, it means who I'm talking to has changed. Who I'm talking to has changed, because I'm not just talking to the people that I know, I'm talking to people that I want to know. That requires me to change how I talk. It doesn't mean, again, I'm going back, I'm not changing my goals. I'm not changing what I want, but I am changing how I talk, because my audience is changing based on this new level. So if you're in business, and especially, again, you're a business that is has been brick and mortar, has been used to people coming to you, you now have to change how you're talking and what you're saying, because they can't come to you. You have to go to them. You have to create means for you to be able to deliver what you're saying to them. And again, let me just talk again to pastors, because that's really what's in my mind right now. Your invitation looks different. Not only is your invitation to what you're selling looks different, the delivery is totally different. Now, it's one thing to be able to speak in front of a thousand people and draw on the energy of 1,000 people to deliver what you have to say. It is absolutely another thing to have to stand in front of a camera and deliver that same amount of energy in front of just a few people or by yourself. Your messaging has to change. If you're used to having lights, camera, action, multiple slides, effects, now that you're in a situation where you don't have that technology, it means your messaging changes. I posted earlier today just some simple things. The psychology of the people that you're talking to is oftentimes based on the device that they're using. People who watch you on mobile are different psychologically than people who watch you on desktop. Psychologically are different than people who watch you on TV. Three different audiences. How you hold your camera often is different. IGTV, IG Live is a very portrait type of environment. When you see people who are in portrait, usually it's less formal. It's selfie. It's a hey. It's about making the connection. When it's landscape, it's more professional. I want you to take in what I'm saying. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your messaging changes because the people you're talking to psychologically and culturally are in a different place. So you have to shift. Your messaging and your strategy. Number 3, you got to find the right tools for the right time. What I mean by that is you have to know, let's take this back. Always start with your audience. Who do I want to reach? And how do I want to reach them? I understand that in this particular point in time, people are running to whatever tool they can find. They're buying equipment left and right. I mean, for the last 2 weeks or so, I'm getting calls. What do I get? Do I get this camera? Do I get this camera? I need these microphones. I need all this stuff. What you need is whatever it takes just to reach the people you're trying to get. That requires you to start here. What is my end goal? What is the end result of what I want to have? How do I want to achieve that? And then you work backwards. Now, I understand budget wise, there are some things that you can't purchase right away, but don't purchase something that is going to cause you more headaches than it's worth when you get to where you're going. You got to find the right tools for the right time. This time right now is about audio. It's about video. It's about connection. It's about engagement. And in fact, after you've done that, you're really trying to find a way that you can get an email address, a text, an email address, and a phone number. An email address and a phone number, email address and a phone number. It does you no good to be on live or be in a webinar and you can't maneuver those people into giving you. I shouldn't say, I didn't say, I said maneuver, I didn't say manipulate. Maneuver those people into a place where they can give you an email address and or a text number. Why? Because you're always trying to move people from the platform you're on to a platform you own. You're always trying to move people from a platform, the platform you're on, to the platform you own. And if Facebook falls flat, how can you continue the conversation with those people? If your website falls flat, how can you continue the conversation? And so your email address and your data and your phone directory is your asset. So find the right tools for the right time. You may have been used to using a certain kind of scheduling software. That might be obsolete. Take an inventory of what you have. Take an inventory of where you're going and see whether or not you have the right tools. And can I just say this? And this is not a plug at all. Find yourself someone on your team that is a troubleshooter. That is a troubleshooter and does logistics. That can see the vision and then give you the steps and the technology and the pieces that go along with it. Stop having grandiose ideas and not understanding the steps that it takes to get there. Okay, that's enough. Number 4, probably this is the most important, probably the most important one to have. The biggest mistakes that I've seen people do in turbulent times, in recessions, in times of great fear, is pull back on the messaging and pull back on the promoting. Now, we talked earlier before about you may have to shift your message. So your promotion may have to change. How you say your promotion may have to change, but you don't stop messaging. You don't stop promoting and you don't stop building your business. In fact, you need to go all in. You need to go more. The biggest mistake I've seen is people who stop marketing. Oh no, I'm losing money, and so I'm going to cut my advertising budget. Well, let me tell you something. In a tight economy, you are fighting for the attention of a consumer. Tight economy, you're fighting for the attention of a consumer. You can't sell to people who don't know who you are, who don't know what you do, and who don't know what you offer. If you don't have the attention of the people, you can't make sales. If you can't make sales, you have no revenue. If you have no revenue, you have no business. This is the time that you amp up what you say. Now, I'm not telling you, I did a video on this. I'm not saying post more just for more. Although um, the algorithm of Facebook and social rewards more than less, but they reward quality over quantity. It's a fine line. They reward they reward people for doing more, for posting more, but they reward you because what you post has engagement. It caught the attention. It caught the attention. And so you need to do more because there's more noise that you have to penetrate. And so yeah, don't stop. Don't think because we are in a terrible time that someone does not need what you have to offer. Yeah, no, 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 no. You are still in business, and as of right now, people still have money, and it seems as if money is going to continue to flow a little bit. And so you need to make sure that you are still promoting, messaging, and building your business. And let me say this, this too shall pass. And if you want to be stronger when it's over, this is the time that you dig deep wells. Someone asked me, how was I really, and this is probably the bonus. Someone asked me, how was I enduring through this? And I told them I'm quiet now because I'm digging down to a well of information, a well of knowledge, a well of encouragement that I buried in myself. This is the deepest I've had to go to connect with it. So it took me longer to get there, but I have it because in previous years, I've put away. See what I'm saying? I put away so that when the time comes, I can use it. What I'm building right now is not for right now. It was actually stuff I built 5 and 6 and 7, 8, 19 years ago for now. I'm building for what happens when we come out of this. I'm building now for what happens when we come out of this. And so don't stop. Don't stop your messaging. Don't stop your promoting, and don't stop building your business. Now is the time to promote, to do more, to post more engaging stuff. You are, I don't want to say you're by yourself, but you have more free time to yourself. This is the time to write the book. This is the time to record more video. It does not take long at all to do a video. It does not take long at all to record a podcast. All you need is some equipment and some time. And right now, you probably have more time than you've ever had in your life. Don't stop messaging, promoting, and building life. So, that's it for me. Take care of yourself. Shift your messaging or strategy, but don't shift your goals. Find the right tools for the right time, and don't stop messaging, promoting, and building your business. Let's see what freebie can I give you. I have a little booklet that I did on productivity hacks for procrastinators. Raise your hand if that's you. That's me. The link is right there. Productivity, folks, the focus productivity hacks, wrong side. My focus line of stuff. Feel free to go over there and get that. I'll have someone drop that in the comment section. See, focus, 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 focus. Don't lose your focus. Don't lose. Maybe that's 6. That's the bonus. Don't lose your focus. All right. If you guys have any questions, shoot them down. Pop them there in the comment section, and I'll answer them. Let me see. DeShannon. So let me see who's in here. Hey, DeShannon. Good to see you. Okay, Richard Bird. Anybody got any questions? I'm going to do some more of these, especially for those people who need to do some transitioning. I feel like this is the time for them to transition from what they were doing to online or to having the side hustle. Also, for those people who are thinking that now is the time for me to make some changes and to have a side hustle. That's always super important. Even those people who are kind of like just sitting at home, going crazy because they have too many people in their space. I'm going to try to get my wife on here later on in the week, because we actually worked together and worked from home together for 5 or 6 years. And so there's a way that you can do this without going crazy. I see Tamika's here, Pierre. Okay, guys. Pastor Flo, Marsha, Tiff. What's up, Flair? What's going on, people? What's going on? Yeah, just wanted to hop in there. Let's see. I've probably been on here too long. I don't do lives more than 30, 40 minutes. I got stuff to do. How y'all doing? Wave your hand. Let me see what's happening over here on IG. What's up, people? What's up, Amber, Ames, Queenly Behavior? Hey, Debbie, what's going on? On IG, they got those little weird names, so you got to be careful. You be done called somebody, and don't get me started. Any questions, folks? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? If not, then I'm gonna go ahead, hop off. Feel free. Check out my website, jrichardbird.com. I know starting tonight, I think they're going to be loading up a bunch of content. I know we're going to go back and update some stuff. On my page, I know we have a new we have a book I wrote about, I think I saw 36 weeks ago or 26 weeks ago, on things that you can do for live, what kind of equipment you need. Grab that if you're just starting out, you want to do this kind of stuff. I was lucky, just a side note. I was very lucky or blessed, if you will, that I had a setup here in my house, a video studio, an office space. I have one here, I have one away, and I had one at my church. So it wasn't major for me to make this shift, but I understand this is a big thing for a lot of people to make this kind of shift. So I feel for you. I feel for you. Let's see. Tamika's saying, hey, good stuff. Thank you, girl. To Shannon, I love you. Pierre, hey, Pierre, look. I got my little platinum up here. I got some more. I just don't know. I don't know where they are. I think they're in the law office down in Atlanta. But Pastor Flo says your congregation is no longer the folks who come; it's the folks who are seeing now. Yeah, the shift is amazing. That what you have to do. Marsha is saying true. Tiff is clapping. She's always such a wonderful wonderful supporter. All right, people, I gotta go. Gotta go eat. Oh, I felt the Holy Ghost right there. I got to go eat. I'll talk to you on tomorrow. I think we'll have a schedule of my lives. There may be 2 or 3 a day. So depending on how I feel. All right. God bless. Peace.